So this is a case study about coffee shop, and in this application, we are going to make a simple coffee shop, and let's create three things. Oh, sorry, this is white. Three. So we are going to make coffee shop.py. It is the GUI, and we are going to make a report file, which is report.txt, and then we are going to make another GUI, which is for financial report. The form will be something like this one. Okay, you will see that, yeah, you can select the menu, and then you can see if the menu is ice or hot. If you select ice, then yeah, it will be ice. If you select hot, then it means you are going to order hot menu. And then you will check if it is dine-in or takeaway. So if it is takeaway, yeah, then you will not check this one. The quantity means how many of the coffee that you want to order, and this is the price. Once you add this item, then you will see it in this table. And then if you order this menu, then it will go to this page, and this page means all the transaction in your coffee shop. So this transaction will be saved in the report.txt. So this is the financial report. Okay, so let's make one by one. Let's open the GUI designer, and I will choose widget, and then put all the components in the next page into the GUI. So I will open this project. So in the GUI, I hope that you can open your GUI designer by now. So I press no, then you can see there are several items here. Dialog with buttons bottom, dialog with buttons right, dialog without buttons, main window, and now I will make it as widget. And then I will sanction or create. You will see this form. Okay, now let's create one by one. There are 14 items. So you need to put those in this form. Let's start with the first one. I have label. Then I will drag and drop the label here. And the text will be menu. And the object name is label menu. Okay, please don't forget, you need to pay attention to this variable. If your somunja domunja is different, then you cannot follow the code that I give in the PowerPoint. After I have the label, let's connect the next number, which is combo box. So I can click, and then I will make the combo box a little bit bigger here. And then the name of the object is combo box menu. So I can just copy and paste this one, combo box. Okay. I will change this combo box to combo box menu. and then you can double click on this combo box. So you can check this combo box. When you double click, you will see a pop-up. Okay. In this pop-up, you can make options. So in this case, let me just have three kind of menu. Okay, I want to have Americano, cafe latte, and black tea. So let's put this one plus. So it means you can have plus. Then you can add the menu Americano, and then you can plus again cafe latte, and then you can plus again black tea. So you can have many menu as you want, but let's limit only 3 menu. And then press OK. So the first menu will appear here, American. But just skip it. We will go to the next verse. We have next is label. I have the label, and then this label will be ice or hot. And let's say this is the label, this is the object name, this is label ice hot. Okay, I will change to label ice hot. And then in this ice hot, I will do the radio button. So I have the radio button, first radio button here, and the name will be ice, or the text will be ice, and the radio button name will be radio button ice. So you need to click on this radio button first, and then change the object name to radio button ice. Okay, I have the radio button ice, and then I have another radio button which is hot. And then I have the next this radio button is radio button hot. And then the text here is hot. And then I have checkbox. I have the checkbox. So this checkbox is about dine in or take away. So if you click, then it is dine in. If you don't click it, then it is take away. Then I will have another label which is the quantity, and I will change this to quantity. For this quantity, I will use spin box. Okay, spin box here. You can put here, and the object name will be spin box quantity, spin box QTY. And I'm going to set this as 1. If you see the number start by view. So you can select on this property. You can select this here. Okay. You can select the minimum. Is the minimum? What is the current value? And what is the maximum? So I know that everyone who want to order the menu, so at least should be one. And let's set up the minimum equals to what? Then it shows at least one. Now I have the label price. Let's make the label as price, and then the object name will be label price. And then I will have another label to indicate that this is the subtotal price. You can enlarge if the variable or the label is small enough, so you can see all the text. And for this one, you can say this object name is label price tag. Okay. Okay, until this part. So you have at least this selection for your coffee shop. And then next, I'm going to add a table. When you search table, you will see table view, table widget. Okay. If you set the table view, you need to design the table manually. It is a little bit complicated. So I'm going to use the table widget. I will choose this one and put here. So in this table widget, you can double click and then it will show you a pop-up, and then you can decide how many columns do you want, and then how many rows do you want, and then this is you can insert some kind of files. Okay, so this one is not available in this widget, so you can decide what is the column and what is the row. So let's put the column, this one. The first column, I would like to know about the menu. The next column, I would like to know whether the person ordered ice or hot. The third column, I would like to know whether the person ordered the menu for dine-in or takeaway. The fourth column, I want to know about the quantity that the customer buy, and the last one, I want to know the price. So there will be 5 columns: menu, ice or hot, dine-in or takeaway, quantity, and the price. You can press OK. So you will see the table is created. Oh, why this one? There's a menu here. Oh, oh, maybe I didn't. I think the quantity I didn't press the enter. Okay. So if you miss this kind of order, you can see there is an arrow here. So you can put down the quantity before the price. Okay, you can up, you can down with this arrow. So you can change the order of the column. So if I click OK, so the column name will be menu, fast or hot, dine-in or takeaway, and quantity, and the price. And the last three will be the button. So let's create button. I am using push button. So the first push button is to add the menu. Okay, and let's change the text into add. And then I have another button. Let me put here. And the name will be order. And then I need to change the object name into push button order. And then the last one, I need to make a push button cancel. But I think I didn't use any cancellation here. So let's assume that all orders should be done. Okay, cancel. And I'm going to make it the push button cancel. So this will be the GUI for the coffee shop. So after you finish this one, make sure that you check the object name for every of this widget. So the first is menu. Okay, the object name is label menu. This combo box, the object name is combo box menu. You can also confirm from here, this one. Okay, you can check the label ice hot, the radio button ice, the radio button hot, and then check box dine in. This one, check box. Okay, so I missed this one. It should be check box dine in for the object name. Okay, this is to match with the code that I already gave in the PowerPoint. But for your project, you need to design by yourself. And please match this object name with your code. So the label quantity, this is the label quantity, and then this is the spin box quantity, and then this is the table. This is the push button add. This is push button order. This is push button cancel. Okay, after you have this, you can save this one and put it in the proper directory. Let's say I'm going to put it into this GUI. And let me make the name is coffee shop. Okay. you will have the coffee shop .ui in your PyCharm. Okay. After you have this GUI, now you know that this .ui, it is .ui and you cannot run in the PyCharm. You know, we can convert or we can change .ui to .py. There are two ways. So you can run this command in the terminal, or I think some of you need to use this external tool. So for the external tool, please change this one for the argument. So I'm going to use this one in the terminal. So you can open the terminal here, the terminal in the bottom part of the PyCharm. So I will convert. Then you will see there is a coffee shop.py. Okay, now it gets longer and longer. To run your first user interface, let's add the main function. So I will copy and paste this one and then put this one below your code. So after you have this, let's run. Then you will get this user interface. Okay, so we learned about this one last week. So I hope that it is working in your computer. So if you select this one, you will see that, okay, the menu can be Americano, Cafe Latte, Black Tea. Okay. You can choose ice, hot. Okay. You can choose the dine in or take away. The quantity you can increase. Okay. And everything is still in the same as your design. Okay. Now, okay, you already get this one. Now you need to put the functions. Okay. So we have at least 5 functions. We are going to create these 5 functions, and you already have 2 basic functions. You already have the setup user interface or the setup UI, and then you have the retranslate UI. You can check from your PyCharm in the structure, and you will see the pink color. So the pink color here, the setup user UI and then retranslate UI, those are the functions. Okay, so this is retranslate UI. This is a function, and then this is setup UI. This is another function. Okay. Now we need to add those 5 functions. Let's do one by one. Oh, I forgot to add the title. For the first time, we need to add global variables. Do you still remember what is global variables? In the global variables, it is the variable that you can use throughout the class. Okay. So all method can use this variable. So I'm going to put these two variables, these two global variables. So I give this statement, put them under the class before the setup UI function. So you can put here. After the class UI form, you can press enter, and then you can put these two global variables. Okay, so below the class and before the setup UI function, put these two global variables. I have the data all and then the data order. What are they? I will explain later. And then in the copy shop, we need to add the additional code. Put this code the most bottom of the retranslate UI. Okay, I will copy this code and then put them you can see the function retranslate UI. Okay, this function has the last statement, this one, push button cancel and so on. Now I can just paste this one. So this will be the additional code. Okay. So it contains the button group because I want to put the button ice and the button hot as the button group. It means you can choose only one. You cannot choose ice and hot at the same time. You can choose either ice or hot. And then if I click the add button, let's add the date. For this one, I'm going to set the total price as 0 at the first time. And then if I click the order button, let's type into the file. Now, let's make the function add data. Okay, so this function will be a new function in this class. So it means the alignment. Okay, you need to understand in Python, indentation is necessary. So it should be aligned with this step. And you can make here. This should be aligned. Okay, because now the function is on the left, but the other function is on this section. So you need to put one more tab. So you need to put this one more tab in order to be aligned with this retrace loop. Okay, please make sure that this function align. So in this case, I'm going to read the file. Okay, we will copy and paste a little bit later. And then I want to count the row. And after I count the row, I'm going to have a new row on my table. And then I'm going to prepare a new variable, new data and select data. If the checkbox is checked, then let's give the string dine in. If the checkbox is not checked, then let's put the X is takeaway. I hope by now you understand the meaning by append. 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 And append. So we are going to add those data into a list. I'm going to check what is the menu. So the current text will be added to this variable. I'm going to check what is the ice or hot. Okay, if I know that it is ice, then it will be added to this list. And then I'm going to add X. X means whether it is dine-in or takeaway. And then spin box is how many of the item that I buy. And then the price will be based on the data that I have now. And then I will multiply with how many items that you buy. And then I'm going to put the subtotal. This is the subtotal into the select data. The total price will be the subtotal plus for all the data. Okay, so this is how we can make one list of the data. The new data will be the select data that we already have. And then I'm going to add this select data into the data order. One customer can order many menu. So I'm going to add this one to the variable data order. And then I'm going to add this data from a list. Now let's add one more function. Add data from list. This function is to add the data into the table. So I'm going to add one more function. And as I mentioned to you, this is a function and you need to make it in the same line. So let's give one tag. So it will be in the same line. This is the way how we can add the data to a table. So we will count how many rows do we have in the table. And then let's say I already have the row. Then I will add the data from the list into the table. So here we have I and the row data, and we have J and the cell data. So for every row, I would like to know the data from the data list. And then for every row data, I would like to check each of the data, and then I want to put it into the table. So this one is to resize the content, so the column will be available to read. And then we are going to make the total price available in this label price. Now there are 3 additional functions. Let's set the price. Again, make sure that this function is aligned with the other function. So you can put one tag. In this case, I want to check if the menu is Americano, then let be the price is 3,500. If the list of the menu is standard latte, then let the price is 4,000. If the menu is black tea, then let the price is 3,800. Now I need to read a file. So you can copy this one and then make another function below. And again, please make sure that this is aligned with another function. Because in the PowerPoint, I cannot make align. So you need to make this function align with the previous function. I will access the data from the report1.txt. So we are going to create this one later. And then we are going to read it. And after we read all the data, we will put it into one of the variable which is data. So you already learned how to read and write. I have a new function write file. Okay. So I'm going to copy and paste this one in the next. So this is the write file function. I'm going to write into the report1.txt. So this is a transaction ID. Whenever I have a new transaction, then I will add this transaction by 1. So let's start the number by 1. So I'm going to check all the items in the text file. I think I will explain this one later after we have the files. And then this is the formatted data. I already teach you how we write the file into the text file. So last time we already learned how to write list to file. And then we will put it into the file, which is the report1.txt. So before we run, we need to create a kind of database. Okay? We call it the simple database. We are not going to make it complicated. So a database is a place to store the data. So every transaction or every menu that has been ordered by the customer, we want to save it into a file. So to simplify this case study, the data will be saved into a text file. And then let's use report1.txt as the database name. We can create report1.txt. Okay, let's make report1. We can make a file. Okay. We can make a file and then let's make the name as report.txt. Oh, sorry, report1.txt. So you can do refactor if your typo. In the refactor or rename, you can change the report name to report1. And then you can change refactor. The report name is report1.txt. For the first, I think it is better to make the data like this one. So I have the transaction ID is 1. I have the sequence ID is 1. And the first menu is Americano. And then I will do this one with the ice. And then the type is dine in. And there is one order about this one. and the price is 3,500. So I will put this one as the first data in the report 1.txt. Okay. After I have this, let's run. If I choose Americano, ice, dine in, let's say I choose 2, then let me add. Now you can see the Americano, ice, and then it is dine in. I order 2, and the price $7. Let's say I have another menu. So I am going to order cafe latte. Maybe I am ordering cafe latte is 1. So I will add. Now the cafe latte is inside the table. And then I'm ordering ice, and this is dine in. The quantity is 1 and the price is 4,000. And then you can see this price is 7,000 plus 4,000. Okay, it is 11,000. Okay, until this one, because of the time limitation, I will stop.